All right, we're going. Give me a second to pause and I'll get us going. All right, folks, Todd Tramonte here with my buddy Jason Samard for another little impromptu podcast, audio, video thing, whatever you want to call it. But we like to get together, have a little conversation about what we're doing in our businesses, what we recommend for our team members, our coaching consulting clients, anybody that we're sharing with. So it benefits each of us and it benefits anybody that may tune in. So thanks for joining us on another one here. Thanks for being contributors and suggesting topics and keeping us on our toes. We really do appreciate it. We both have a lot of fun with it. So typically we just throw out a topic and then we see where it goes. And we kind of talked in about 5 seconds of show prep here about the idea of where are we adding value for our clients outside of the core essential pieces of transacting real estate, meaning, okay, so we helped you buy, we helped you sell, get under contract, get it closed. So aside from all of that, what are we doing and maybe what could we be doing so that when our clients interact with us, they have a freakishly, unbelievably valuable experience? And I'll add one thing, I'll say beyond the sale. So we call a lot of this our raving fan club. And I'm not a big fan of taglines in any part of our business anywhere. The only place we have one is in our raving fan club when we call it value beyond the sale, because we want our clients to know we're here to add value in your life way after a commission has been earned. So with that type of thinking in place, let's just start with Jason. What are you doing or going to be doing or want to be doing in that regard beyond the buying and selling piece?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity, Todd, to chat some more about what we love doing, which is helping people with real estate. So I think there's a lot of value in the follow-up beyond the sale. And so my challenge is going to be this for anybody listening who thinks, man, like I don't really have a process after a client gets onboarded, we've sold them a house or we sold their house for them. Think differently and start putting together some processes. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, but it's going to bring a lot of value. And if you want people to come back and do business with you and introduce you to friends and family, it's essential that you have a follow-up process and system. So I'll just share openly, the first couple of years that we were in the business, we were very transactional. We got in, we had really good lead generation systems, and we're putting a lot of business together, and we're helping a lot of people, but we definitely were going at such a fast pace that we didn't take the time to put follow-up systems in play with our past clients. And so that's something we focused on in the last year and a half really aggressively. We put systems in place. So an example, one thing we do is for every past client, on their birthday, they're going to get a personalized card from us with brownies. So they get their birthday brownies, and they get to look forward to that every year. They're really delicious brownies, by the way. And the nice thing is it's an automatic system we use through send out cards. Other thing is we send out a Valentine's Day card to our clients. We have our spring referral campaign card. We have their anniversary. So on their anniversary, they'll get a card and they get like a little token of appreciation, like a small little gift. Again, we do that automatically through send out cards. And we're also inputting in our CRM system so that we have follow-up calls that happen at certain intervals. So obviously there's your 10-day check-in. So once your client's moved in, they're going to get a basket delivered to the door. That's an opportunity for us to check in how things are going. Is there any opportunities for us to provide more service? And then we have our 6-month calls. We have to be realistic. We do quite a bit of business. So I don't think we can touch our clients every month or every 3 months. And I don't know that that's necessary, but I think at least every 6 months with the different touches that they're going to get with the phone calls, I think that's for us has worked really, really well. Another thing, and this is a good little tip that we started doing this year in Q1 that helped us generate some business actually, was doing virtual pop buys, we called them. And I may not even be the right name for it. But what I did is I had my assistants stalking Facebook for our past clients to look for events that have happened in their lives.
Yep.
And then we'd set a measurable goal that they could do and track, which was each one of my admin's team, there's 3 of them, had 5 virtual pop buys that they had to do per week. So that meant they had to find 5 events or reasons to send something to a past client for one of our agents. And they would obviously check with the agent, make sure it was okay. And we would do some thoughtful little gesture for them. And
is that physical mail?
We did it through send out cards again.
Okay, yeah. But you physically sent them, not like an email.
Yeah, no, it was like physically sent them the card in the mail. And what's really cool about that is people on Facebook, you can see if they've had like a relationship breakup or they've just got engaged, they just had a baby, all these different things that happen in their lives. And I thought, wow, this is really powerful. So let's just try and hit them with some value and just show them that we're thinking about them and that we care. And I know that helped us we generated over 52 referrals in Q1 this year.
Nice.
Again, contacts was a big one, asking for the referrals in the process. But again, doing that initiative with the help of our admin team to help us support our initiative was really helpful. And I know that it's had a really positive impact because we've had comments. And what happens is sometimes people blast on their social media and they're like, oh, thank you so much, Sims Real Estate Group. You guys are so thoughtful. We had one of our clients who unfortunately had a dog pass away. And so we did something really thoughtful for them. And again, they posted something on social media. And then a week later, they were referring us a friend. It's pretty powerful.
Yep.
We're not doing this with the intention of necessarily expecting anything directly from it, because we do genuinely care. It's in line with our corporate values. Like, we care about the people that we serve. But it's pretty amazing when you give, the universe seems to reciprocate. So that's what we're doing. Todd, I know you guys have a pretty detailed follow-up system, and referrals are a big part of your business. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of stuff, and I'll get into it. But I was just going to say, by the way, always excellent placement on your coffee sponsorship. The way you come up with that drink, it's very well done. Obviously, you're practiced. Such a great endorser of that product. What I was actually going to say though is you just gave the natural disclaimer for genuinely ethical, honest people that feel a little tiny bit of reluctance when we are generous and kind, but we do expect that ultimately to benefit our business. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I felt like it was important to say that. Now, it's totally messed up if you genuinely do not care about these people, but you're doing this stuff because it's a straight, profitability play. But there's nothing wrong with saying, look, because of the business we're in, that gives us permission and the ability, and it becomes now smart to obsess over adding value in people's lives and encouraging people and celebrating and mourning with people. It really gives you permission. The fact that it is a smart business move gives you the freedom to enjoy what you do even more. And so I just thought that was an important point, because I'm the same way. At times you're like, man, that's not why we do it, but it's a nice benefit. And it's kind of this wrestling match we have, which I think as quality people, we should be wrestling with things like that. But anyway, we do all kinds of stuff. Right now we're in the middle of a big food drive for the local food bank. In our area, probably in most areas, June is the time of year where the food banks, they receive the lowest level of donations they get all year, but it's one of the highest times of need. A lot of kids, and at least in our state, in our country, unfortunately, they have a need for school lunch programs, or they get breakfast and lunch at school sometimes. Regardless of your politics around that, it's a shame that there are hungry kids in our communities. Well, in the summertime, when they're not at school, food becomes a very real problem. And so we want to meet that need. Number one, because there's a real need. And like I just said, number two, it's a solid little community outreach, branding, marketing opportunity. So we do some stuff like this. Can you see that, Jason?
I can, yep.
This is our Raving Fan Club website. We call it our Raving Fan Club, our happy past clients and friends. We do this thing we call the PBJ Drive. PBJDrive.com is a website where people go get resources. They can drop off peanut butter and jelly at our office, or they can donate through a little PayPal app. It also, all year long, is where people can find out some of the perks of working with our team, free use of tools and notary service and vendor recommendations, and kind of see what some other people think about us. So anyway, I'm not trying to make a big deal out about the website, but the Peanut Butter and Jelly Drive, we blast it on the radio show. We go on other people's shows. We get a lot of extra publicity and PR for it. And we genuinely, want to and do go take hundreds of pounds of food and cash donations and end up giving away thousands of meals, which are really, really important. So that's one of the things that we do kind of annually. We do a lot of the same things that you're talking about. I'm not going to repeat those, but calls and visits and gift giving. And we do our each quarter we do a big client event. We do a minor league baseball game, kind of a festival party. a pie day in the office, a big ice cream event at a local ice cream shop. So we do different attitudes and different approaches to each of those events. We do newsletters. We do random gifts at least once a year. We do like sunglasses for the kids and coffee mugs or stuff for the adults or whatever. And then we have our inner circle, which is like our top referring people that we do even more crazy stuff for. But you and I have been talking recently about some cool new stuff you're doing with your company. So I'd like to stay in the same conversation. But before we wrap up, talk about a few things that you guys are trying to do. So here's a couple of examples of what we're doing similarly. And then I'd love for, maybe we'll wrap up with what you're doing. On that website we just shared, and we send out materials all the time, but we have a pressure washer our clients can use for free. We have turkey fryer, crawfish pot, barbecue pit, pop-up tents, folding chairs, folding tables, notary service, copier, scanner, faxes. They can use our meeting space to meet with a financial advisor or whatever. And then we have tons of other stuff, but these are things that we've invested in, tools or experts or discounts with vendor partners that forever and ever and ever they can benefit. Now, by all means, those relationships with plumbers, electricians, all that stuff really help during the transaction, but also forever and ever and ever. So you guys are talking about some cool stuff that I think is worth sharing. So what are you guys up to?
Well, I think it's important as an industry that we realize that the whole us versus them mentality has not served us well for many, many years. And I think using a more collaborative approach in real estate is the way to go. What I mean by that is there opportunities for us to pool resources with people in our local marketplace where we can offer more added value services to our clients and actually minimize the costs of these services to our companies? So how can we create that win-win effect? Well, again, if you think about it, in my marketplace, for example, there's other teams that have huge marketing budgets that are spending thousands and thousands of annual dollars on. Well, what if we work together and created some resources in-house? A, we could create some really good gainful employment in our community. B, we have more control over the quality of service that we can offer. And B, it's going to be a cost savings for our other companies because we have to use these services. So I'm thinking like, I have to pay for everything, right? As a realtor, you have to pay for your signs, you have to pay for your marketing, your website, blah, blah, blah. Well, what if we work together collaboratively and we could pool some of those resources in-house? Like for me, I've always provided a cleaning service with all my listings. I always provide a professional cleaning service. Why? Because I know it's one of the things that people hate to do. And it's just a nice little value added. I've always done it. So I have an in-house cleaner. I've always believed in luxury marketing on every listing. So what that means, I have a standard that I believe our company has to uphold on every listing, whether it's a 100,000 listing or $1 million listing. You're going to get these standards, which means we're going to do a professional narrated lifestyle video that's going to be specifically targeted to your demographic. We're also going to do professional photography, and we're going to do a professional color floor plan so we can really showcase the home the right way. We also are going to get really nice brochures done up on the home, but like the nice hard copy ones that show really well. Well, again, all those are internal costs. So what I'm working right now is collaborating with some local agents that are similar in mindset to me, which let's work together and let's see if we can create these services in-house where we can provide a better service to our clients at a lower cost to our companies and then give back to the community by creating gainful employment. So those are some of the value adds that I'm really focused on. The other thing we're thinking about is how can we get a handyman? One of the biggest things in a busy market sometimes, or any market, is finding a reliable handy person that can come in and help with things like, oh, I need to get this painted or that. Well, if we had somebody in-house that could do that at a super affordable cost, I mean, that to our clients is a huge service, and then allows us to set the home up in a way that we're going to be able to sell it faster. So it's a win for the client. They're going to be able to sell the home faster for more money, but then a win for our company as well, because we're going to benefit from that on having a shorter sales cycle. Because we know, Todd, the importance of setting up a home before listing it, right? If you can get those small rentals done, it can make a really nice impact. And it's something I've always advised clients to do instead of taking the shortcut and saying, well, let's just list it as is. I'll take the time to say, look, if you actually did these few renovations, here's the outcome that would actually benefit you. And again, it's hard to find those reliable tradespeople. So again, if we can have the services in-house, maybe we have somebody who is a retired tradesperson who's looking for that stability and maybe just having an income, but wants to be able to do those services at an affordable cost. And does
I love the idea of having that fully in-house. We've done a lot of the things you said, but not all of them. You know, we've got basically a graphic designer on staff that he has other roles here, but that allows us to do a lot of that creative stuff. We've got in-house videography. We have a full-time stager that only works with us, some of those things. The handyman thing's always been tough. So you're exactly right. What we have had several times is like a husband-wife team or a small family business that does kind of make-ready handiwork, that we were their only source of business. So they worked full-time for our clients, but they weren't truly in-house. So, even if it's every year or 2 or 3, something changes, they move, they get out of the business or whatever. So it's not all that different, but what I really like is the idea of just saying this person's on staff. So it's not that you control them, but you do have control that provides consistency for your clients, and potentially sharing some resources with other people is a great idea. So I love the thought of that. And just to back away from it, to wrap up, the thought is really, how do we add more value for our clients? Now, Jason's making a very clear point. If you can do that while also lowering the cost, then you can do more of that, more things. And if you can partner with some other agents in your market, just meaning shared resources, lowering cost, creating consistency where you might only be able to do that part-time, but together you could do it full-time. That's something I think more and more people should think about. And that's why I like having these conversations with Jason, because we challenge each other to think about stuff like that. So I appreciate that challenge. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, just really don't ignore the fact that it's super important to have processes for every part of your business. And so today's topic is focusing on what is your after client care process? How are you going to touch them? How are you going to make sure that you're not the statistic where only 18% of clients retransact with the same agent that they work with? Did 85% of clients say they want to actually transact with the same agent that they work with? But they don't do it. Yeah. Percent of them actually do. And I think a big reason for that is our own faults in the industry is not following up with value, not having proper systems where we're touching them and we're staying in contact, and basically we're sharing life events with them as well. So one other thing, have your past clients involved in your social media so that they can kind of see what's going on in your life, because it's a way for them to at least see what's going on, and same with you. And it doesn't have to be super complicated. It doesn't have to be super expensive. Can be just little thoughtful things matter, I guess, is the point of the day. Do develop a process, and if you need some ideas, reach out to us. I mean, both Todd and I've exited production very recently, so I'm full-time into coaching and mentoring people. I'm not looking to take on hundreds of clients, just looking to work with an intimate group of people and help them be successful. But this is something we focus on, is how can we help you systemize your business so that you can be in a position like Todd and I, where you're a business owner and not just a realtor who's in the hamster wheel.
Yeah, I mean, not much to add. That's kind of where we are too, is sharing. We've made a lot of mistakes. We've figured some things out. We've innovated some stuff that is new and unique, and then we've borrowed and learned from a ton of people and integrated those into great systems. Same deal. We do coaching and consulting. We're not looking to go do that for 15,000 people or anything crazy like that. But those of you tuning in that are working with us know that we're sort of obsessive about making sure that those systems are there. We want you to be able to add so much value for your client that you can make a great income without having to go sell 50,000 houses, and you can have a life, and you can invest in your marriage and your children and in your hobbies and in your health and those things. Well, I want to help you build a business that fits into the life you've already prioritized, instead of trying to find some life left over from the business that's running you ragged. So a lot of what Jason just said. So if either of us can ever help you, feel free to track us down. There's usually links attached to these videos, or just, jump on Google Jason Simard, Todd Tramonte. You can find Sims or Todd Tramonte team or whatever. Happy to help. We'll do many more of these. If you haven't seen a bunch of the past ones, go check those out too. We're always trying to sharpen each other and add value for you. So we'll talk to you on the next one. Everybody take care. We'll see you then.